Why is it that the mother is handed the grief and then handed the blame all at the same time? Her child is gone. Mothers are expected to carry the grief, hold the family together, and still remain calm enough to make other people comfortable. Now, these parents also raised concerns about information that appeared to be missing from his phone and conflicting accounts surrounding whether he planned to remain on the island or he planned to return with the boat. Till that question is fully answered, the focus should remain on the evidence, not on punishing the woman or the mother who refused to stop asking questions. Why is it that when tragedy enters a family, the mother is handed the grief and then handed the blame all at the same time? Her child is gone. But instead of allowing her to mourn in peace, people begin to judge her. People begin judging her tears, questioning her motives, and investigating her life. If she remains quiet, they ask why she's not fighting. If she speaks up, they say she wants attention. Like, make it make sense. If she hires an attorney, they accuse her of wanting money. If she demands answers, they call her difficult, angry. They even say she's divisive. This is what happens, or this is what appears to be happening to Nolan Wells' mother, Christine Wells-Wonsley. She asked one simple question: what happened to my son? But somehow, now the grieving mother is now the one being placed on trial. My name is Femi. Welcome back to Yes Life Coaching Woman Stand in Your Power, where we do not just discuss headlines, we uncover lessons that help women protect their voices, recognize their power, and make stronger decisions. Stay with me, I'll be right back.
Stand in your power, own every minute, every hour. This is your story, starting now. Stand in your power, let the world see how. Stand in your power, stand in your power now. Turn up your voice, your truth, your wow. Stand in your power, this is your channel now.
On July 4th, 2026. Ooh, I'm fast forwarding. So you're welcome back wherever you're watching from. On July 4th, 2026, 18 years old Nolan Xavier Wells traveled by boat with friends. They went to on Highland, Mississippi, just to celebrate the American Independence Day. Nolan did not return home. His friends returned to the mainland. Nolan's phone, his keys also reportedly returned, but Nolan did not return. Now, 2 days later, his body was found. People say, or let me say, authorities said there was no obvious signs of foul play, and they suggested drowning as a possibility. But Nolan's parents questioned the story. They were like, no, my son would not voluntarily stay back on the island without his phone and without a means of going back home. That behavior is out of character for my son. That was what the parents said. Now, these parents also raised concerns about information that appeared to be missing from his phone and conflicting accounts surrounding whether he planned to remain on the island or he planned to return with the boat. Therefore, the family, with all these questions that are going unanswered, the family commissioned an independent autopsy. Now, the examination did not establish Nolan's cause or manner of passing, right? They saw all sorts of things, but at the same time, everything they saw were not conclusive. So Nolan's family had to continue asking all of these questions, and they're asking for a complete investigation. Their legal team has subpoenaed several technology companies, including Meta, Snapchat, TikTok, WhatsApp, Life360. They are seeking messages. They want messages. They want photographs. They want videos. They want location information and timestamps that may reconstruct what happened to Nolan in the final hours of his life. But Christine, or let me say, while Christine searches for answers, she has reportedly now become the target of harassment. An anonymous person sent hate mail to her home. The mail reportedly included a photograph of Christine being comforted by attorney Ben Crump and Reverend Al Sharpton. The sender added arrows. I saw the picture. They added arrows and dollar signs, apparently suggesting that the family was trying to profit from Nolan's passing. Like, who does that? Now, before we knew what was happening, Christine's healthcare profile has also received a wave of one-star reviews. Like, how petty can people be? How would you go to somebody's profile, maybe on Google, and you begin to give her one-star reviews that are unrelated to her work? Because this woman is a family medicine nurse practitioner. You now go to her page and start giving her one star. So now this mother is not only grieving her son, she's trying to defend her character. She's also defending her intentions. Not only that, she's also in the midst of trying to defend her professional reputation because of these nasty one-star reviews that people are giving her. Now, like I always try to do, before we go any further, we must separate what is confirmed from what is unreal. Okay, Nolan disappeared on the 4th of July. He was found 2 days later. His passing remains under investigation. Nobody has been arrested yet, and the independent autopsy, we already know what outcome is. Why am I talking about Nolan's mother? The story is bigger than the case. Let me. What I'm talking about is actually way bigger than what's going on. Okay, why does this story matter? It reveals how society often treats women, and especially mothers, when tragedy happens. Okay, mothers are expected to carry the grief, hold the family together, answer everyone's questions, and still remain calm enough to make other people comfortable. What do you expect from a mother even when she hears the voice call from her son's supposed friends, when she takes the video, the audio call, and checks it very well, and you begin to hear some things in the background? Do you think that mother should not ask for answers? A grieving mother may cry, but society does not expect her to cry too much, right? She may speak, but she should not speak too loudly. She may ask questions, but not questions that challenge powerful people. A grieving mother may seek legal help, right? But she must be careful not to look as though she wants money. Really? That's what society is saying from this case. A grieving mother may appear strong, but not so strong that people question whether she's truly grieving. Really? From this case, from this Nolan Wells case, looking at the mother, I'm saying that there's no winning position. If Christine cries publicly, some people may accuse her of performing. If she speaks firmly, she may be portrayed as angry. If she continues demanding answers, she may be accused of creating trouble. She's being difficult. And then, if she remains silent, those same people might eventually ask why she did not fight harder for her son. Like, there's just no winning in the situation. This is the impossible position women are frequently placed in. Whatever we do becomes evidence against us a lot of times. Now, let's decode what is really happening here. This woman, Christine, did not create the unanswered questions surrounding Nolan's passing. But because she refuses to stop asking these questions, public attention has shifted from what happened to Nolan to why is his mother asking all these questions? Why is his mother behaving this way? And you just imagine that shift is not accidental. Society often changes the subject when a woman's question becomes uncomfortable. So instead of addressing what happens, people begin to discuss her tone, her mannerism. Instead of examining the evidence, they are busy examining her character. Instead of answering her questions, they are questioning her motives. And when attacking her voice is not enough, low can people go? They go ahead to try to attack her livelihood. Like, if we attack your livelihood, therefore, you will stop talking. That is why the reported one-star reviews matters. A false review is not just an online comment. Especially for a nurse practitioner or people that are into service work, reviews can influence whether people trust you, book appointments, or recommend your services. So these reviews are very strong. When people target a woman's professional profile because they dislike her public position, the message is clear. What they are trying to say is, if you continue to speak, we will make speaking expensive for you. Now, that, in my opinion, is what I call economic intimidation, financial intimidation. It's an attempt to punish a woman financially because she refuses to become silent. We also cannot ignore the racial dimension surrounding this case. Nolan was a young Black man in Mississippi. The friends pictured with him were white. That fact does not prove that Nolan's passing was racially motivated. It does not prove that his friends harmed him. But the family's concern did not emerge in an historic vacuum. Christine has spoken about conversations she and her husband had with Nolan concerning how he needed to move through certain spaces as a young Black man. Now, many Black parents understand these conversations. I do, because I talk to my son as well. There are some things, a lot of times I don't let my son go to shop alone. I try to be present. He's 17, but I know what can happen. So I try to be present, and if he's going alone, I warn him. I warn, especially if the shop is literally dominated by the other side. Now, these are not necessarily about teaching children to fear or hate maybe white people or black people. They are about preparing children for risks their parents believe they may face because of their race. But when Black mothers raise questions about race, they are often treated as if they created the racial tension simply by naming it. They must prove that something happened, then prove that race may have mattered, then explain themselves calmly enough not to be termed the angry Black woman. Then they have to reassure everyone that they are not accusing an entire race. And after doing all of that, they may still be called divisive. A Black mother can lose her son and somehow still be expected to protect the comfort of strangers. What world are we living in? And what are the lessons for women? The lessons for women is not what we should respond, or that we should respond to every situation with anger or accusation. The lesson here is that we must stop apologizing for asking the necessary questions. You are allowed to say the explanation does not make sense to me. You are allowed to ask for records. You are allowed to request a second opinion. You are allowed to hire professional representation. Because what I hear, oh, why did she have to call Brain Cup and Sharp? Like, she has every right to hire professional representation. You are allowed as a woman to protect your family, your name, as well as your livelihood. You are allowed to refuse an explanation that does not adequately address the facts. But standing in your power also means remaining guarded or grounded, even in truth. Suspicion is not proof. A theory is not a fact. A viral video is not a verdict. We can't support a grieving mother without threatening witnesses or declaring uncharged people guilty. The real power is not reckless. The real power is clear, disciplined, and supported by evidence. So here are 5 lessons that we all can take away from this. Never ever apologize for asking the necessary questions. When something does not make sense to you, you have every right to seek clarity, as you should. You have every right to save messages, screenshot dates, important conversation, because evidence protects you when the story changes or when people question your experiences. Lesson number 3, protect your name and your livelihood. Always monitor your professional profile. Report false reviews. Preserve evidence of harassment and seek professional advice. Number 4, always build strong support system. She said something. She said she's leaning on her faith. She has a strong support system. Now, strength does not mean carrying everything alone. You have to reach out for family members. You have to reach out to professionals like Christine did. You have to reach out to advocates like Christine did. You have to reach out to people who can help you remain grounded in the situation. There are a lot of lessons to learn in this case. Always stay focused on the facts. Don't allow social media speculation to distract you from the real issues. Ask the right questions, demand accountability, and protect your voice. But don't turn suspicion into certainty. When a woman raises her voice after a tragedy, that does not mean it does not become, or let me say, you should not become so distracted by her tone, her strength, or her attorneys, or her refusal to disappear, that you forget why she had raised her voice in the first place. This woman, Christine Wells-Wonsley, did not ask to become a national figure. She did not ask to defend her professional reputation while grieving. She didn't ask for all of that. She simply asked, what happened to my son? Until that question is fully answered, the focus should remain on the evidence, not on punishing the woman or the mother who refused to stop asking questions. I want to hear from you. Have you ever been called difficult simply because you asked necessary questions? Have you ever felt pressure to remain silent to protect someone else's comfort? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Share your experiences. But please keep the conversation respectful. Do not accuse or threaten anyone connected to this case. If this video spoke to you, like it, share it with another woman who needs permission to trust her voice again. Subscribe to Yes Life Coaching, Woman Stand in Your Power. And please do turn on your notification, okay? Here we do more than talk about what is happening in the world. We uncover the lessons that help women protect their peace, rebuild their confidence, and make empowered decisions. If you are watching this and you're struggling to find your voice, you're struggling to rebuild your confidence or establish stronger boundaries, use the link in the description below to book a discovery call with Yes Life Coaching. I would see you in the next one. Please do remember, asking questions do not make you difficult. Protecting yourself does not make you anywhere selfish. Refusing to disappear does not make you troublesome. Because what? Your voice matters. And until next time, please protect your peace, remain grounded in truth. And woman, always stand in your power.
Take what you learned, walk in your truth. Until next time, stand in your power.